joining me, another top rider, Kelly Bruner. Kelly, thank you for being here in the studio today.
Thank you for having me.
Well, we have to jump right in and talk about Tuffernell. What an incredible horse. Visit with us about your run and just the partnership between the two of you.
Well, we bred and raised Tuffy, and she's pretty waspy, like she was saying, the kind that she doesn't like. That's kind of how she is. She's very hot. She's a very hot-natured horse, and she's very quick-footed, about the quickest-footed thing I've ever been on in my life. And so she, I've been having trouble getting around the barrels on her. She does better up north in the summer. Last summer she went quite a bit, and we did really good at the outdoor rodeos. And it doesn't matter how big the pattern, she's going to turn. So the small buildings are hard. But I was having trouble getting around the barrels, so I had Cody Bauserman take her for about a month, and Cody got her around the barrels at the Lucky Dog in Memphis, and so that's why we got qualified.
Wow.
So.
And Tuffernell, Tuffy obviously fits you well. You can handle the kind of waspiness of the horse. And how do you calm your mind to make sure this run is executed?
Just try to do deep breathing before I go down the alleyway. I know she's going to turn. I've got to just keep telling myself she's going to turn. The trick is going to be look at your spots, put her as far behind, put her behind the barrels, and don't let her turn back underneath you, because she's quick.
And speaking of your training program and just how you got Tuffy to this point, walk us through the uniqueness of your program and what continues to work for you.
We used to buy a bunch of stuff, but now we pretty much, raise everything. And so we've got a bunch of stuff coming up. We always have colts coming up in a bunch. It's not a bunch. We've got 17 or 18 head, but we've got colts coming up all the time. And so we kind of do everything. We're trying to rope on them a little bit. Sometimes at our age, we're trying to get people to ride them and break them for us. But I do all the barrel training and all of that. And just kind of try to keep good ones coming up, and you just have to go through horses, and if something doesn't work, it just has to go down the road, and you go to the next one, and you hope it, you try to find it a good home place that fits, or it turns into a rope horse at our place a lot of times. So we don't really sell that much. We end up feeding them for a long time.
Isn't that just the horse bug in general? I feel like. Do you have a preference in terms of mares or geldings?
We have a load of mares at the house, and I think mares are really triers, but right now I've got two really quiet, calm, easygoing geldings that I'm really enjoying. And so, you just have to adapt to whatever they want to do, to their style.
Speaking of bits, we spoke with Cassie about that in the previous interview. What type of bits do you prefer? Is it based on the specific horse or something in your training program in general?
It has to be based on the horse, but you have to know what rides good in your hands. And so, like Nellie, she's a turner. But she's also, you have to try to have something in her mouth that you can keep her off the barrels with, too. So you can't put an O-ring in her mouth, to me. I can't. And keep her off the barrels. So she can ride in a porty curb. She can ride in the biggest jawbreaker you can put on her. And she'll do about the same thing. But you can maybe keep her out better. And so on this colt in the futurity that I've got, he's going to ride in a really, really loose bit that's got a lot of movement in the sides, and I have to have a lot of movement. I think that's really important. You don't want anything stiff on him. But he's going to even have the bit probably dropped a little loose and the curb strap really loose, just because I don't think he needs a lot. He's pretty sensitive.
Wow. Yeah. Speaking of the horses that you have here, who did you qualify on, and what are you most looking forward to throughout the rest of the week?
So Knucklebuster is going to be my futurity colt, and we qualified him at Ardmore. And so he had done really well at Pink Buckle, and he's been doing really well. So he hadn't done anything since Pink Buckle, hadn't made a run. So he made his little pass this morning in the exhibition. So that's what we're running the futurity, and we're hoping we'll be back for the finals in that.
And speaking of the futurity and the finals, the Breeders' Challenge, wow. When I showed up yesterday here to Will Rogers, I was blown away. I feel like they have completely rolled out the red carpet for not only the riders, but the owners as well as the sponsors. When you pulled in, what did you think?
Lots of great advertisement, lots of flash. It kind of reminds me of a PBR event. Looking for the smoke to come up.
Yeah, right. I'm waiting for the smoke machines, too. Maybe we can talk to Rick about having a smoke machine in the future. Well, good luck to you, Kelly, the rest of the finals. I really appreciate you stopping by the studio.
All right. Thanks for having me.